The U.S. is increasing its military presence near Russia. A medical plane crashed in the state of Arizona. There were casualties. Karimov's yacht has been put up for auction. Trump has announced his potential successor for the 2028 elections. Now, let's take a closer look at the news.
The U.S. is increasing its military presence near Russia. The United States plans to increase its military presence in Finland during the second half of the year and take an active part in exercises held in the country and the broader Baltic region. This was announced by the Finnish Defense Forces. The U.S. military presence and exercises in various regions of Finland and the Baltic area are part of existing plans. This is a part of bilateral defense cooperation between Finland and the United States. The goal is to improve combat readiness, strengthen operational interoperability, and contribute to regional security, the statement said. Officials explained the move as a response to the need for cooperation in the current security environment. The United States' involvement reflects the deepening of bilateral cooperation and demonstrates America's commitment to Finland and the Baltic region, the statement added. Back in mid-July, U.S. Marines had already arrived in Finland, increasing the American military presence. They were stationed with the Coastal Brigade and are expected to remain in the country for about a month. U.S. troops also arrived at the Karelia Brigade, where they are conducting training sessions for Finnish personnel on operating and maintaining U.S. military equipment. Additional joint activities involving U.S. forces are planned throughout the rest of the year across Finland. For context, the Defense Cooperation Agreement between the U.S. and Finland, which came into force last year, allows U.S. troops to be stationed in Finland and to carry out military exercises. All bilateral activities are conducted under this agreement and by mutual consent. Medical plane crashes in Arizona, casualties reported. On August 6th, a medical airplane crashed in the state of Arizona, killing 4 people. The incident occurred near Chinle Airport, where a small twin-propeller medical aircraft went down and caught fire. According to reports, none of the victims were local residents, and their deaths have been confirmed by medical personnel. The plane had been en route to pick up a patient from a hospital in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The aircraft belonged to CSI Aviation, and the cause of the crash remains unknown. Due to the ongoing investigation, access to the airport has been restricted. The National Transportation Safety Board confirmed the aircraft was a Beechcraft 300. Investigators have arrived at the crash site to document the scene and examine the wreckage, which will later be transported to a secure facility for further analysis, said NTSB spokesperson Sarah Taylor Sulik. Just a few months earlier, on April 7th, a medical helicopter crashed into the sea in Japan, killing a patient and 2 others, though the pilot, mechanic, and nurse were rescued. On July 29th, a military training helicopter crashed in Germany, where the bodies of 2 Bundeswehr soldiers were later found in a river. Karimov's super yacht put up for auction. The U.S. Department of Justice has listed the Amadea, a super yacht once owned by Russian billionaire oligarch Suleiman Karimov, for a closed auction in San Diego, California. The yacht was seized and sanctioned following the outbreak of the war in Ukraine. The announcement was published on the auction site today, August 6th. The auction is scheduled for September 10th, and the 106-meter-long vessel is estimated to be worth $325 million. Anyone wishing to participate in the auction must place a $10 million deposit. The Amadea, Latin for God's love, is a 6-deck floating palace. It features interiors made from marble and rare woods, with some elements inlaid with precious stones. The yacht has 8 cabins, accommodating up to 16 guests and 36 crew members. Amenities include a helipad, swimming pool, gym, spa, conference room, wine cellar, and even a lobster aquarium. The centerpiece of the interior is a hand-painted Pleyel grand piano with all of its components, including pedals and hinges, crafted from 24-karat gold. The auction will be conducted by National Maritime Services, a Florida-based company. This may be the most impressive, sophisticated, and beautiful vessel any of us will ever see, said the company's CEO, Bob Toney. He added that the opportunity to purchase a yacht of this caliber is extremely rare, possibly once in a lifetime. The yacht was seized in Fiji in the spring of 2022 at the request of the U.S. and transported to San Diego. Although Karimov denied owning the yacht, the U.S. Department of Justice provided court evidence, including crew testimonies and records showing that the billionaire was its primary user. According to documents, the interior of Amadea was custom designed at the personal request of the Karimov family, complete with a pizza oven and luxury spa features. One crew member was instructed to always keep a pair of the billionaire's favorite Nike sneakers on board. Suleiman Karimov, a senator from Dagestan, was sanctioned by the U.S. in 2018 for being a key supporter of President Vladimir Putin's regime and for playing a major role in promoting Russia's malign activities. Nevertheless, according to the Department of Justice in 2021, Karimov agreed to purchase the Amadea through trusted intermediaries. 30 days prior to the sale, the yacht was officially registered under Millimarine Investments Limited. The deal also involved Aragon Marine, whose nominal owner is Evgeny Kochman, CEO of the sanctioned yacht brokerage Imperial Yachts. Trump names J.D. Vance as his likely successor for 2028 election. U.S. President Donald Trump has named Vice President J.D. Vance as his likely successor for the 2028 presidential election, which will take place in November. Trump made the remarks during a conversation with journalists at the White House. Of course, it's still early to talk about this, but he's doing a fantastic job and could very well be the strongest candidate so far, Trump told reporters. Trump was responding to a comment made by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who had recently called Vance an excellent candidate for 2028. Trump acknowledged that Rubio might, in some way, collaborate with J.D. Vance in the future. Rubio, who ran for president in 2016 as a Republican senator from Florida, has not ruled out another campaign, according to The Hill. However, he reportedly plans to remain Secretary of State until the end of Trump's term, which may limit his ability to run in 2028. J.D. Vance began his career in the U.S. Marine Corps, where he was deployed to Iraq in 2005 as a military public affairs officer. Upon returning to the U.S., he graduated from Yale Law School, worked for venture capitalist Peter Thiel, and went on to launch his own investment firm in 2017. Interestingly, back in 2016, Vance was a vocal critic of Trump, calling him a moron and even comparing him to Hitler. However, his views later changed. In November 2022, with Trump's endorsement, Vance won a U.S. Senate seat, defeating Democrat Tim Ryan. Until now, Trump had avoided naming a potential successor. Though he described Vance as highly talented earlier this year, he stopped short of openly backing him as a future candidate until now. With this move, Trump appears to be clearly ruling out any attempt to seek a third term, which would require a constitutional amendment, as the U.S. Constitution currently limits presidents to 2 terms in office.
Thank you for your attention. Don't forget to subscribe to the Fastest News channel and leave your thoughts in the comments.